Hey guys, what's up? As we all know, at this year's E3 Microsoft press event, Phil Spencer sneakily already teasered that Microsoft is working on their next console generation. Apparently it's codenamed Scarlet, and he actually said, we're working on the next generation of consoles. Plural. We've all heard this, it's exciting. At that time we didn't really know what to make of it, but now a new rumor has surfaced which actually sheds some light on that detail. It's a rumor, so take it with a grain of salt, but a lot of it actually makes sense to me. Let's jump right into it. So according to the site Thurrott, which is like a tech site, Microsoft is working on a traditional home hardware-based console, but also on a streaming box at a much cheaper price at the same time. Firstly, the rumor that the next Xbox, which is currently rumored to release in 2020, will include like a traditional home hardware option is pretty much a safe bet. Moving fully to streaming games at this point seems really unlikely, and unless there's like an unexpected worldwide internet speed revolution happening in the next 2 years, it simply doesn't make much sense. However, by including a second cheaper option of hardware, they could really aim and try to conquer a whole new group of budget gamers. And I feel that Microsoft missed that train in the past, right? When the Xbox One came out, it was fairly expensive. And then they also tried to attack the market with Project Scorpio, which is the fastest console on the market, but it's also got a quite hefty price tag compared to other consoles. So the idea that they would release a piece of hardware that tries to shift that strategy and tries to conquer like a cheaper budget gamer market is something that in my mind is quite likely. The good thing is the box could be much less powerful, right? It would mainly work as a box for you to plug in your controllers and to display a streamed image to your screen. And it could be imagined that a device like this requires a certain internet speed in order to work. Rumor also has it that the local hardware in the box could be used to handle basic computing tasks like the controller input, the image processing, and mainly collision detection, technically making it like a hybrid between a traditional streaming box, like let's say the Steam Link, and a fully traditional console. So it would be considerably cheaper than a full Xbox, but not as cheap as a Steam Link box, for example. But what makes this rumor believable to me is the fact that it would allow Microsoft to increase revenue by inventing all kinds of new subscription services. Again, it's a rumor. I'm just kind of talking from my head here, stuff that comes to head. But for example, they might get you to buy this incredible box for only $49.99 and communicate across the board that it's an Xbox for only $49.99, but then you will need Xbox Live, you will need Xbox Game Pass, and you will need a Microsoft Gaming Cloud subscription in order to even access the games. And on top of that, if you want to play a game, you obviously need to rent it, maybe buy it, and you will be charged for each game separately. As part of that, you would maybe have access to additional services, like for example, the possibility to play your games or stream them to other devices, because theoretically you don't need their little Xbox streaming device. You could stream their games to any device, any mobile device, even if you have like a controller input or whatever. But this is the stuff, all these additional subscriptions that makes marketing and strategy departments mouthwatering, right? They're like, oh, this is great, right? We have more subscriptions, we can charge more monthly, and more customers are bound to our services for a longer time. This is great, it ticks all the boxes, we're gonna make so much money. You can literally hear them rubbing their hands together and being all like excited about features like this. And I can imagine that over all those greedy thoughts, they forget the main issue with a concept like that, which is latency. And I use the Steam Link at home, and even in a local wired 100 megabit home network, streaming games poses a significant latency issue. It works for single player games, maybe casual games like Steep or basic casual jump and runs, but FPS games or any competitive multiplayer game like let's say Rocket League simply don't work. There is that microsecond of delay, and you can feel it. You can feel it, and it drives you crazy. Of course, you can compensate for it. Like you can try to move a bit earlier, right? And try to compensate. Like for example, I'm playing this Formula 1 game, and you literally just have to go into the curves like a microsecond early in order to play the game properly. But that can't be it, right? That can't be right. So, and that is a wired home connection in my home, streaming from a powerful computer. So I see massive issues with this concept, and I think no matter how clever Microsoft's tech behind their cloud services in hiding the latency is, it will become a problem. And this is not the first time that Microsoft thinks into this direction. They did work on a streaming device that was nearly released 2 years ago, but then was cancelled in its late development cycle. Also, there are so many other traps to step into with a concept like that, like the fact that you could only rent but never owned games already ruined previous companies like OnLive, right? I'm not saying they're going to do this, but this all sounds like stuff that a company like Microsoft would really want. They want you to pay twice, 3, 4 times. They don't want you to buy a game at a fair price and then you own it for the rest of your life. That's not how gaming works on consoles in 2018. PlayStation already had their own go at a similar concept with PlayStation Now, where you could play or stream PlayStation exclusives, but the games that everyone wanted to play were way overpriced. And it rendered the concept pretty much useless. It didn't really work. And I mean, I haven't looked at the numbers, but I don't think it was a huge success. I mean, look, I still think that some kind of streaming games is the future of gaming, or at least of console gaming. But the worldwide internet structure is simply not ready for a service like that yet. Not even solid wired home connections can provide a 100% satisfactory streaming game result. So I hope Microsoft doesn't only see the dollar signs in a concept like that, and just because it looks like, it will be the future and it looks great on paper, they're like, oh, we gotta do it, and all these subscriptions. And because that can really be the last nail in the coffin of Microsoft's Xbox division, in my opinion, if they go out too far and try to get loads of gamers on board first and then just generate disappointing experiences, basically, because you have to pay on top afterwards and you get a laggy, sluggish experience, which is disappointing. So what do you guys think, right? These are just my thoughts. Thought I'll put them in a quick video. What do you think? Do you see the future of the 2020 Xbox release new console in streaming? Is that something you would be interested in? I mean, do you have experience with it? Do you use the Steam Link or any similar device in order to stream your games? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell. You know what people do these days. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. Share your thoughts, like the video, and I'll see you later. I'm out. Bye.